Good morning, ladies. I am Karen Ray. I'm the founder here at Fave Lifestyles, and our mission to hashtag celebrate 1 million women by igniting courageous voices through the power of our stories and connecting women through shared experiences. And we are here to have a chat with one of our sponsors, Tresa Leftenant. Hello, Tresa.
Hello. How are you doing today, Karen?
I'm doing great. Well, thanks for joining us. And it's just such an honor to have you here and supporting women and their stories and connecting us around positive ways that can draw us together in today's world, which we're going to talk a little bit about and why that's important, and it's important to you. So yes, it's so good to have you here. But first, I'm going to start by reading a little bit of your bio, and then we're going to talk a little bit about your why and your mission too, because I think it's important to share a little bit of your story as well. And so Tresa is a certified financial planner and behavioral finance advisor with over 4 decades of comprehensive financial planning and wealth advisory experience. She's also a certified Canfield trainer of the Success Principles, a popular speaker, podcaster, and transformational facilitator. Oh my gosh, but there is still more. Tresa is fiercely committed to guiding women to pursue a wealthy and purposeful life. Through her education program, she empowers women to build and manage the financial resources they need to support their dreams. By highlighting the intersection between a positive money mindset and a committed financial planning skill set. Oh my goodness, ladies, that's life in a nutshell right there.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. So you are fiercely committed. Those are great words. Just how you have come into our Fave Lifestyles community and just really empowered women to think a little differently.
That is so true. We are amazing human beings, aren't we? And yes. One of the most amazing things about being human is our brain and the capacity that it has. Now, when we talk about your mission with the Celebrating 1 Million Women and the book that you're launching, that is full of the power of women's creativity from their minds. And all of that is about where we've come from, what our experiences are. And it's just so I get chills every time I think about the process of writing down who you are based on where you come from, the people you know, and all of that comes from this massively amazing brain and mind that we have. So for me, what's my mission around money? Because, my dad was a banker and I started in the money business when I was 15 years old. So I've been in the same industry my entire career. And of course, my own personal development and my own massive life experiences, both good and bad, have contributed to the awareness that came to me through my career that women in particular could use some more assistance in how they think about money and what they're creating with money. We're a creative machine, right? As a human being, but what are we creating with our money? So that's why I became fiercely committed to having conversations with women around their relationship with money, their decisions with money, and what they focus on.
Oh, Tresa, I just love that. And thank you for investing in this, and especially the book of Being Brave, hashtag celebrating 1 million women and their courage, because these ladies are realizing how much their story matters and how this can relate to their money story too, because if they feel that they matter, and that goes into all aspects of their life.
Well, one of the most meaningful things that have happened to me in my life is I actually wrote a book about my story back in 2014. And it was primarily my evolution story as a woman, and also around my own financial challenges and what I learned about having financial challenges, how I broke through to being a wealthy woman. So what I know is when people reach out to me and say they read my book and that something that I said actually turned on a light bulb for them, That was the
Yes.
most amazing thing. And I'm so excited to hear about the stories about these women when they realize how powerful their story and what it means to other people as they read it and take it in and identify to it from their perspective, right?
Right, right. And Teresa, thank you for saying that too, because in society today, the measure of success is typically money.
Yeah.
That is how that's one of the metrics
Yeah,
of
that's one of the
success.
metrics, right? Hmm.
And in business, as a lot of our members are women entrepreneurs, but
Hmm.
to see that power that their story brings, like you were talking about, and where somebody relate to something that inspires them to take another brave step, whether it
Yeah.
be in their finances or in their life or however that is, that also matters. That's an important metric of life. And to see what, I see people reading the stories. We had one of our proofreaders, and she was only supposed to read one story. She goes, I couldn't put the book down. She goes, because I kept reading these powerful stories of these women and it's not about the circumstances so much. It's about those lessons learned and the inspiration out of it. Just like as with your story too, because I've read your story, and it's that resilience. It's like, go girl, yes, you got
Yes.
this, and because you've come through so many things,
Yes.
and to see how that is. So yeah, so let's talk a little bit more about why should women share their stories.
Well, it's the moment when you are feeling the least inner power, when something inside actually shows up and you realize you actually do have the power that you didn't trust that you had, or you didn't believe that you had because of some programmed message from your past. And it's that moment that is what is so exciting about these stories that have been written and anyone else's story. It's when we realize that we really are that amazing woman that has everything she needs already inside. All she has to do is access it. And even those times when it happens, it's kind of like a mystery. Where did that come from? Why did I think about this at that particular moment? Or
Yeah.
why did this particular thing come to help me at that particular time? There's the mystery of it all too, right? And I just love that part of when we're becoming more of who we are, and it shows up, like she shows up, right, when we're not expecting it. And then we once we know who we are, we can never unknow. It's always there with us, which is why our personal development is a stage. We go in stages. We learn this, and it's there for us the next time, but then there's something else, and we just evolve and become more of who we really are. I think that's what the whole journey of life is. So this book is an illustration of the journey of being us.
Oh, yes. And then for women to just grab onto whatever piece of that story that they can relate to. Just
Yes.
think how that brings us together. So let's talk a little bit about the importance in today's society
Mm,
about that connection piece. And
yeah.
as we're sharing our stories, those shared experiences of emotion, if you will, and
Yes.
why that is important.
Yeah, I'm glad you brought that up, because I think we're all in that place right now, especially given, the time of year that we're experiencing with the election and all the conversation that's going on. It's pretty overwhelming. But I'm asking myself, so even if I don't agree with someone, does that mean that I can't love them, or I can't appreciate them, or I can't learn from them? Of course not. It means exactly that. To me, that's the beauty of this time, is that it brings up questions about who do I really want to be, and how do I want to show up in the world. I'm giving a course right now on identity and values, and how we actually live a sense of purpose in our life. And in exploring my own values, I realized that what's truly important to me is loving, kindness, acceptance, compassion. You know, when I did an exercise where I could go, who do I really want to show up to be?
Mhm.
And that's it. And so does that only mean in certain circumstances or with certain people? No, it means with everyone. And that's the opportunity we have, is to step into that deeper part of ourselves that are those things already. Because if you see a little child, are they loving? Yes. Are they kind? Are they exuberant? Are they they have all the aspects that we've kind of forgotten as we've gotten older and hard things have happened. So that's what I'm reminding myself right now. Who do I want to be right now? I want to be an accepting, loving, giving person.
Yes. And Teresa, do you feel like, because since you've written your story, I mean, you have a book, you've written it, you've been
Right.
highlighted in other books as well. Do you think that some of that came out, some of that realization came out as you were writing your story and
It,
sharing it?
it absolutely did, because, you know, as you're writing a story, you're taking a look at yourself, right? And, you know, if you're an honest person, and, you know, even when somebody is reading your story, there's feedback that comes back to you. So I question myself, is this who I really want to be? And at that time, I was kind of a blaming person. I thought everybody else was my problem. I didn't really take on my own responsibility, right? So the
Mm.
writing of that book was so important for me to see that. Oh, wow. I really didn't take responsibility for the decisions I was making with my money. And I really did think it was other people's responsibility to make me happy. Boy,
Oh,
am I so glad that I wrote that and I was able to see it right there.
yes. And then probably, I don't know about you, but I've heard from some of the other authors too, that when they've written their stories, and myself too, I recognize, like you talked about earlier, I saw that some of that, the goodness was already there. That brave or that resilience or that grit. It's like,
Yeah.
I didn't know I had so much grit and to get and fortitude to get through things. I guess
Yeah.
so it's kind of like this book of proof.
Yes, exactly. And you know, writing is a great way to do that, to get to know yourself, which is why journaling is so popular now. You know, we have five senses and we have all this input coming in all the time, and it can be really overwhelming, especially in today's world where information overload is a big aspect of our lives. So that taking that time to sit and reflect and to actually express your inner self, that's how you do get to know yourself. And that's how you grow.
Yes, and going back to even to your bio too, creating that purpose, creating a purposeful life.
Yes.
And I think as we get to a women of a more interesting age,
Yeah.
I think that becomes one of our big metrics, if you will, in life. I hear women all the time saying, I want more meaning. I know there's more
Yeah.
out there than,
Right.
because maybe we've already come to a place of financial success
Yeah.
or a place where we're comfortable, and to find a little bit more meaning in life. And that seems to be that purpose, and leaving, what is our legacy going to be? And I loved how you said too, how are we going to show up?
Well,
How
I'll just make one comment about that, Karen, because we can't find meaning. We have to create meaning. And
Mhm.
the only way we can create it, not only way, one way we can create it is to find out who we are. And what, because you're different from me, right? Whatever you find meaning in isn't the same for me. So how do I know what a meaningful life, that feeling inside of, like, I don't know, is it truly satisfaction? Certainly happiness is an element of it, joy is an element of it, but that finding it is about me. Who am I? What is it that I really want to feel and do and think that's going to make that meaning feeling actually show up?
Oh my goodness, so great. So, ladies, I just want to invite you. You can still share your story of being brave. It's interview style. We ask 16 questions. It is thought provoking, so you might need to take a little time. But I think whether you just hit the submit button or you just do it for yourself, I think what Teresa was talking about, and creating that meaning. And some of that will come that awareness of who you are. And I think you might be celebrating yourself by the end of your story, going,
Yes.
wow, because you also discover that maybe brave means something different than you originally thought it was.
Right. Right.
Yes. So,
Exactly.
Teresa, what drew you to this project to come and be a sponsor?
Well, first off, it was the amazing community that you've built and all the connection that the members have, which is kind of different from a lot of other networking groups or organizations. This is a special place where women really do lean into each other and really do want to know the deeper part of each other. And everybody's on the exploration to who am I? Like, who am I and what am I about and what creates a meaningful life? So that was the first thing, Karen, is your amazing community. And then the second thing is that as I'm fiercely committed to helping women get a better relationship with their money, which is also means of themselves, I want them to express that. And that's what writing and being part of a project like your book projects are. I want that for women, and I will always support it because it does create this new connection to self, and it does free women up from all of that, from a lot of the negative belief systems that we lay on ourselves that really aren't true. I mean, we're taught to have these negative belief systems, and they aren't necessarily true, but we have to have an ability to figure that out. And writing is one of those venues.
Yes, excellent. Thank you for sharing that too. So, what message would you like to leave the ladies with?
You know, I think it's wonderful in our society now how there's a lot more invitation to write your story. You
Mm.
know, you're an example of someone who has realized this for yourself, and then you've gone, come on, we can do this together. And that's the other aspect of this, which is so great. It's just such a project that's together and building more connection. So what I want to invite people who are listening, who may be thinking, oh man, I've always wanted to tell somebody about that experience in my life that was so impactful. Go ahead. This is a great way to do it because you've got a lot of loving,
Yeah.
wonderful people to help you along. And Karen, of course, is the main person there. So that's my message. Just do it.
Girls, just do it. And you know what? That was actually one of the quotes I had in my stories. Just do it. I used to have that phrase because it's Nike. Just do it. I
Yeah.
actually, as I was a young out of college, and I would create these calendars, and I would just say, "Just do it." And
Yeah.
so that is part of my story. So thank you for saying that too, because that is so relevant. Ladies, come and we will love on you if you want to come and write your story. We are here to help. Reach out to Teresa. The ladies here are so generous, so open, and just really want to see all of you step forward in that positive way to find purpose and meaning, and to share the love, if you will. That's the essence of Fave here, and would love to invite you along on the journey. So, ladies, feel free to go to our platform at favelifestyles.app and hit the submit button. Oh my goodness, I can't talk right now. Need some more coffee, or go read a story for inspiration because there's so much wisdom. You will be blown away by the stories of these ladies. They're all different kinds of stories of being brave. So come and join us, and we'll see you next time. Thank you, Teresa, for joining us.
Thank you.